In communication with Southern California, KHJ-TV Public Affairs presents Teen Talk. Toughlove was founded in 1977 as an association of parents dedicated to holding the line against out-of-control teens. Toughlove brings parents together to back up one another and to follow the progress of problem children. There are over 150 branches of Toughlove in the United States and Canada.
The Toughlove brochure reads, "Are your kids putting you in crisis? Are you feeling guilty? Are you in denial? Are you having problems with your child's attitudes, curfew, school attendance, or drug-related issues? Then join us at Toughlove Parent Support Group. Toughlove has sprung up in cities throughout America as one answer to the ever-increasing and difficult responsibility of raising children. The Toughlove idea was the brainchild of just two people, Phyllis and David York, and it's had remarkable success and remarkable growth. I'm Joseph Feinstein, and today on Teen Talk, we've invited several teens and several parents who have been personally involved in the methods and procedures offered by Toughlove. Welcome, panel. Welcome to Teen Talk. Tell me, how did you guys get involved in Toughlove in the first place? Sean?
Me? I got forced to go.
You got forced to go,
yeah? Yeah, my mom got involved in it. Somehow, I remember, like, during the summer sometime, some weird stuff happened. And, you know, my mom got involved in Toughlove, and me and my mom have always had these, like, power trip kind of stuff. And she's, she kicked me out of the house.
Because?
Well, because, like, I didn't keep my curfew,
Oh, okay.
Hey.
How long were you hanging out till?
How long? Oh, well, I'd come home at 4 in the morning or something. Well, you got to take RTD. It takes a while. but then, she'd do that. And
how old were you at the time that all this was happening?
Oh, this was like this last summer.
Last summer. You were 15?
16.
16, okay.
Turned 17 in a few days.
Okay, good. Happy birthday.
About a month, actually. But, because, like, my mom went to New York for 3 weeks, and I had a great time. My dad didn't care what time. And then she kind of thought, I was kind of whacked out and stuff. And, like, she said, okay, you can come back home. But I had cut my hair into a mohawk, and she said, you can only come back home if you don't cut it off.
Well, your hair looks like it's grown back in.
Yeah, I cut it off.
Let me find out from some of these other people, too. How did you arrive at Toughlove, Claudia? You look like such a sweet person. No discipline problem at all.
Well, to tell you the truth, my mom started going to Toughlove for my brother, and my brother moved out.
How old was he?
17. And now I'm still going to the teen group because I just went for myself. I wasn't forced to go, and I enjoy it.
Okay.
So that's how I started out.
All right. You started as a result of the brother and your parents' action. What about you, Scott?
Mommy.
Mommy?
Wanted me to go.
Mommy wanted you to go. Why? You weren't going so great.
Well, I didn't think I was that bad, I guess. Maybe in school I was getting, my grades are going down, so she said that. She wanted me to go 3 times, so I went 3 times, and I liked it, so I kept going.
Why did Rhonda go, Jan?
I invited her to go to a first teen group meeting when the teen group was first began. And she said, well, I'll go, but I want you to know that I'll tell them what I think of them if I don't like it. And I said, that's fine, as long as you understand that they'll...
What was the problem?
Her behavior. School was the biggest thing. She started high school and her grades began to drop, and she wasn't going to school. And
she wasn't going to school. Her grades were beginning to drop. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, the main problem was that I got into drugs. Okay, smoking pot, hanging around with the wrong crowd and everything. And I thought that at the time, hey, it's cool, I like it. But now, it's like I work, I go to school 1 day a week, and I work.
Well, we'll
6
find out.
days.
We'll find out all the good stuff in just a little while. I know there's going to be nice answers. I can see it in your eyes that you guys are alert and whatever. Missy, what was going on with you to cause you to come to Toughlove in the first place?
You want to know the truth?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I went because Sean was going, and it was interesting So I just kept coming. And like I can talk about my problems with them too.
What were your problems?
Well, you know, like I'm having a hard time in school and like just everyday problems that I have no one else to talk to, so I just talk to the teenagers.
You talk to the teenagers at Toughlove. It's a nice place to come to, is what I hear you saying. What was bothering you about this young lady, Sue?
Well, Toughlove for us was like a last resort. We had started having problems with Nisha when she was 3.
3?
Yeah.
That's going on. And now you're
16.
16. 13 years of problems
Yeah.
with old Nisha, yeah?
We're patient. We'll hang in there.
Yeah, I gather.
And after trying everything from psychologists and through the school and everything we could try.
What did she do?
Oh, what didn't you? It'd be easier. We had problems with school. There was shoplifting. There was lying. There was, let's see, we got into drugs, alcohol, physical abuse, verbal abuse to family members, running away. Let's see, did I leave anything out? I think basically it was just, you know,
violent.
constantly in school, extremely violent in school as well as at home. So, but the violence was the main thing, and it just, as the years went on, it just increased and got worse until we were afraid it was going to get out of control, and there was a time when it did.
There are a number of expressions commonly used at Toughlove meetings, like shape up or ship out. The family is not a democracy. Spare the rod and spoil the child. How did your parents apply these kinds of words? What transpired? Nisha, what happened?
Oh God, everything happened. I think, well, from my mom being in Toughlove for so long and everything, I've got to know more of the parents' side of, you know,
What's
of
happening.
everything. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I personally support it, and you know, because like when I was a kid, I was throwing desks at teachers and throwing erasers, and I got kicked out of Kitty College for cussing out a teacher.
Why'd you do that?
Because I had so much anger, and I was really violent, and you know, to this day, some of the things I can't really understand why I did it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Are you doing less of it now?
oh yes, I
Really?
don't have a temper at all anymore.
No more temper. Uh-huh. Okay.
But depending on the teenager or kid, Toughlove can or cannot work, and the
Is it working for you?
oh yeah,
Why?
it has worked for me.
Why is it working for her, Sue?
I think for me, I needed to be consistent. I think I was giving double messages to Nisha. It's never one way. It's not just the child's fault, it's the parents as well. And I needed to be consistent, give her clear messages, and that way she knew what her limits were. You know, she knew where the limits were, so she could choose to go either to stay within those limits and be safe or go beyond them.
When you first came to a Toughlove meeting, Scott, what did you encounter? What was there for you?
A lot of people that had a lot of problems, just like me, that
Yeah.
cared.
What kinds of problems did you have?
Mostly my mom's boyfriend.
What do you mean?
Well, he's like, me and him just don't get along at all.
Are you jealous of him?
No, not really. It's just my mom's the type of person that can't make no decisions for herself. And then he's a macho man guy.
Oh, so he was dictating to
Yeah,
you
exactly.
the rules and regulations. And what did you do? How did you react?
Just, I don't know. I didn't really say nothing. We get in arguments all the time.
Arguments and fights. Did you kick? Did you hurt? Did you lash out?
No,
So why did Mom go to Toughlove?
just for me, I guess.
Well, she made a decision then, didn't she? Are you happy about that decision that she made to go there?
Yeah.
Why?
I enjoy it, and I think it'll help us.
In what way?
Help us understand each other, problems.
Have you changed your attitude towards your this man?
Not really.
Not really.
A little bit.
A little bit. And has he changed his attitude towards you a little bit? Mm-hmm.
I haven't-
Sean, what about you? Why'd you go to Tough Love? What'd you expect to find there?
Well, I don't know. You know, when my mom went to the parents group, and I had got some really bad vibes. You know, when I first went to that meeting, you know, I just, you know, I said, hey, I think this is, I hate it. You know, what is this making the parents do? You know, my mom's, you know, kicking me out of the house, what I think is no reason at all.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I don't know what the parents' point of view. I know it goes both ways, and I always get the feeling that, you know, I got the feeling that from my mom coming down on me, that it didn't, you know, that it was my fault, you know, and I didn't see it going both ways, you know.
Can you understand that there are rules in society that people have to follow, and if they do decide to break those rules or those laws, that punishment is the general way that we operate in a democracy, that we you know, and
that's a democracy, but is that saying the family is not a democracy, so is punishment.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
Can I make a comment? Yeah, I was going to say, I think what it is that we give the kids choices, and that's what I heard you saying, Sean, was that you had a choice if you were going to live in your mother's home to go by her rules, okay?
well, it
Is that
depends on
correct,
what,
or-
yeah, that was her thing.
Okay, as
but
opposed
her
to kicking
rules-
you out, I heard you saying that I either had to follow her rules or I had to leave, one or the
Yeah.
other.
That-
Okay,
that
that's
was the
different though
thing.
than kicking out.
Yeah, well, you know, her rules, you know, if they're going to infract upon my life and the lives of people around me, because, you know, my mom will, to get to me, she will not care who is in her way, because she's gotten a lot of people who think she's, you know, and that's because, you know, maybe I've done something wrong. You know, that's true.
Well, maybe this is the way of
And
tough love. Maybe
Yeah,
this
it's
is the
tough.
way of how the love is going to be tough. I mean, if you're gonna put up a resistance and a wall and say no, you can't, and mom is paying the rent, and mom is paying for the food, and mom is paying the gas, electricity, and she says, oh yes you are, my boy. What, Jan? What about you? What'd you find in Tough Love?
What I found in Tough Love was that I was not the only parent going through this kind of thing. That was the biggest thing. A lot of support and a lot of love. I've learned that before we changed it all, I had to change. I had to change my way of thinking.
What way? What did you do? What changes?
The biggest change that I made was to let the school issue go. That was the issue, was getting her to go to school. I finally let it go. She failed 5 out of 6 classes.
They're her grades.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's what I said. It's not my future. It's your future. And she's dealing with it.
I can't begin to tell you how many parents are living their lives one more time through their children.
Exactly.
And it's not their children's
No.
grades, it's not their children's future, it's always theirs all over again by virtue of how the kids are behaving in school.
Yeah,
or,
but see, you also have to figure out, is it 20 years ago, it was pretty easy to go to school. I mean, now it's like you've got the teachers that are so whacked out of their minds, they don't know what they're saying.
Oh, that's
I
true.
agree with that.
Yeah,
I don't agree with that either, but
There are
go ahead.
some very crazy teachers.
Okay.
Then you've got the ones that think they're Mr. Macho Joe Stud.
Well, you take the LA City school system, you know, it's been chopped down, and the teachers don't know where they're going to be year after year. The LA City school system can take those teachers and move them anywhere. I know I used to go to a private school. I had a few excellent teachers. They would influx with tons of information. It seemed, you know, it was like a really super hard class, but it was interesting, motivating. The teacher loved to teach it, and most of the people in the class got very good grades. I got, you know, really good grade in that class. Now I go to a public school, which I think most of these people go to, and the teachers are like on the board. And I don't think, you know, it's just everybody is not motivated as much as they used to be. You know, a lot of the parents aren't motivated anymore. Now the kids aren't motivated, the teachers aren't motivated. You know, what's doing that is I think our society's doing that. it's not too much all the people, it's more our society.
We've spent a lot of time on Teen Talk exploring all sorts of problems, including abortion, sex, drugs, suicide. In your opinion, panel, what do you think kids need today? What are they missing? Claudia?
I think they definitely need motivation from their parents and support from their parents, because that's important, because they are a guideline towards growing up, as well as from their friends.
What
and
was
their
your
teachers.
what were your mother and father not doing as far as your brother was concerned?
Well, they had a bad attitude about the way he wanted to learn. His grades were pretty bad, and they didn't like that whatsoever, you know.
So they'd scream at him?
Yeah, instead of motivating the things he did good, he got yelled at for
What
things he
do
did bad.
kids need today, Rhonda?
I think kids need friends that are going to support them in whatever they do.
Even for the drugs?
Not
Even
for the drugs, but I mean, your parents are hassling you. It's like you want to go to your friends. Well, then your parents stop you and say, hey, they're bad influences on you. I don't want you to see them anymore. You are not allowed to talk to them. Nothing. And that's not, I mean, then you're going to turn around and rebel.
That's the spark for the rebellion.
Which is exactly
What
what
do
I
kids
did.
need today, Missy? What's wrong with the
I
kids
agree
today?
with what both of them said about the parents. I think that they need support from their parents too. You know, parents shouldn't just say, well, fine, I wash my hands of the whole deal. They should just try to, like...
Encouragement?
Encouragement.
Are you getting that now from your mom?
Well, I don't live with my mom.
Who do you live with?
My sister.
Do you get
She
that
understands me. I get along with her very well.
Why? What does she understand about you that nobody else seemed to understand?
Well, besides the fact she's 3 years older than me, so she sort of understands. She went through a lot of, heck herself. She went through a lot, and she understands what I go through, too, because she went through it herself.
Is Tough Love making a difference for you guys? Is it really helping you?
Yeah.
Nisha, is it really helping
Yeah.
you? How?
Most of the major tough love work that was done on me was done like about a year ago when I was arrested and put into placement and stuff. And on top of tough love and my mom being consistent is, me wanting to change myself.
Good.
After
I'm glad
so
to hear
many
that.
years. So
It all begins with yourself. It all
Yeah.
begins with yourself. Sean, you still hanging out at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, if I want to. No, I don't. Well, when I hang out, I don't hang out. If I'm going to go somewhere, my mom
I hung out
says,
till 4 in the morning. When I was 13, 14, 15, I used to hang out at 4 in the morning
Oh,
with
yeah.
my friends at a restaurant, drinking coffee or something like that, and just talking till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, especially on Friday,
we
Saturday
used to
night.
do that in back alleys, drinking beer. Just talking. Yeah, I used to, for a long time, I used to hang out. It wasn't hanging out. I'd go places, and, now my mom says, yeah, if you're going to go somewhere and you can't get back on time, it's okay, just as long as you tell me and stuff. And she says I can't hang out till like 1 o'clock in the morning. I have to be home. That's hard when you're, RTD. Just an hour and a half to get home.
Haven't you noticed a change in your mom since you've been going to Tough Love?
I have.
What changes are you alluding to, Jan?
The changes of, they've drawn contracts. She's a little more lenient because it used to be at 4 in the morning, that was it, and now it's call.
I have
I
to
see.
break trail.
There's a difference.
I have to break trail. It seems like, about a year ago, a couple times I stayed out all night, and then like the next night I came home, you're gone, 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, my brother, about a month ago, he stays out all night, comes home the next day and says, "Oh, Mom, I fell asleep and it was raining." And she goes, "Okay, Sonny boy."
Well, maybe it's all, you know, it's not only in the attitude, it's in the body language, it's in the understanding, it's in the appreciation of you as a person growing up and having a lot of difficulties growing up. Those changes are really important to watch. Scott, are you a different person today as a result of Tough Love, do you think?
A little bit.
In what way?
I've learned to deal with or accept my mom's punishment or whatever she does to me.
Mm-hmm. Have you learned to stand up for yourself and value yourself too?
Yeah, a lot.
I see. And are you different, Rhonda?
Yeah, because I don't do drugs anymore. I go to school, but I'm on independent study, which is 1 day a week. I have a job. I'm working a full-time job, and I still do quite a bit of work around the house.
A credo of tough love announces that behavior must change before the psyche does. Another way of saying that actions speak louder than words. I'm aware that you must always pay attention to what you do, not what you say you'll do. Tough love asks parents to get mad instead of sad. There are always appropriate actions and positive things to say for any situation. You know, if you've tried everything else, you might want to look at tough love as an alternative. The first step is the book Tough Love by Phyllis and David York. I know you're going to receive some valuable ideas from that. And for more information, you might call toll-free Tough Love at 1-800-222-5465. Panel, you're on your way to your Tough Love meeting. I'm on my way. For Teen Talk, this is Joseph Feinstein saying we'll see you very